swing round to face me, please. I gather you're expecting Lionel.
Well, I got the message, just before I left, from Lionel Williams saying, would I agree to a short interview with John Smith? So I said, sure. I know Lionel Williams well, and he's always played the game.
Mr. Smith, could I begin by asking you for your forecast on the forthcoming black election in Rhodesia? All parties which you mentioned being a natural ally for the whites?
Yes. I have made it clear on a number of occasions that I think it would be wrong for the whites to participate in or to take sides in the black election, because we may find ourselves back in a party and finding that we have backed a loser, and this will not augur well for future cooperation with the ultimate government, because politics is a thing which stirs up strong feelings. You do antagonize people, and if we were to be stupid enough as to put ourselves in a position where we had antagonized the future leading party of our country, then of course that would be a major blunder. So we're not going to do that. But we make one qualification. We are referring to the free, the democratic parties when we say we are not going to take sides. We are, and we always have been, completely opposed to Marxism. As far as my party is concerned, this is written into our principles and our policy. So under no circumstances could we have any truck with a Marxist party. Sometimes you can forget the past as far as your enemies are concerned, and perhaps for your mutual advantage work together. There are many cases in history going back over many, many decades which adequately prove the point I'm making.
Are you talking about a Smith and Como alliance, perhaps?
No, I'm just saying that it is possible for people to get together with their enemies. This has happened in Europe and other parts of the world. That is a possibility, I believe. But the point I make is I don't think it is possible for people who are dedicated to freedom to get together with a Marxist or a totalitarian regime. Maybe the first case can work. I'm not saying it will. The second case cannot, under any circumstances, work. If you are the kind of people who fought against totalitarian governments for years, as we have, and in 2 previous world wars, then this isn't anything that you can lightly throw aside. We believe in freedom of thought, freedom of action, freedom of religion, and the private enterprise system. Under Marxism, all of those are denied to you. So I don't believe there is any possibility of us working with a Marxist state, because that would be tantamount to committing suicide. So that is off.
Were then a Marxist state to be what's your answer to that?
I don't think so. I am a little more sanguine over this problem. I'm not starry-eyed, though, and I don't believe that the war will stop overnight. I think gangsterism will continue for a while. But I think gradually it will wither away, because the 2 countries who have been responsible for aiding and abetting the terrorists, namely Zambia and Mozambique, have, as part of the agreement they made, not only with Britain, but with the major free world countries, the United States, France and Germany, made it clear that if this settlement went through, if certain conditions were accepted, that they would give an undertaking that they would no longer shelter and harbour and assist terrorists. So there is a strong commitment to them to live up to this. If they break it, they are not only breaking an agreement with us, but with the major free world countries, firstly. Secondly, they've been suffering terribly. They have been hoping for a solution of our problem far more even than we. And if they go back to terrorism, I think their problems once again are going to escalate. Bankruptcy, people who are starving, breakdown in law and order. For those reasons, we think there's a pretty good chance that they will have nothing to do with the terrorists. Then, a terrorist without a base to which he can retire for rest and resupply hasn't got much chance. He gradually withers away.
Finally, Mr. Smith, you're leaving for America at a pretty crucial time for Rhodesia. It's been said of you that that's somewhat irresponsible. What's your comment?
Well, I was offered this platform long ago to put over the case for my country. and I held back my decision to make sure that it was not going to in any way interfere with my duty to my state. I think I'm going at a very good time, because the next few days are going to be involved in the white election and the counting of the votes, and then there's a weekend. The important time, I think, is the week before the black election and the week after. Well, I'm going to be back for those 2 vital weeks. I only will be away for a week. And I'm going in the interests of my country to put over the case. Had I been interested in myself and my party, then I would have stayed to make sure I could win every vote for my party. But I believe I've got to be big enough to put my country, my nation, before my party. So anybody who suggests it's irresponsibility, I think, has certainly got hold of the wrong end of the stick altogether. It is quite the reverse. I'm thinking of my nation.
Mr. Smith, thank you.
Thank you.